Welcome back to part 2 of this month's FU February blog series, where we're discussing how to air out tension and set clear boundaries without making things worse or pushing people away. Let me ask you something. Do you ever feel torn between priorities? Maybe you don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or maybe you have 2 tasks in front of you that are both really important, and it's hard to choose which one comes first. I deal with this all the time. So if you struggle with this, you're not alone, and this video is for you. Marie Forleo says it best. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. In other words, to create space for more productivity, joy, and follow-through, you've got to have clear boundaries. We know this in theory, but it's so much easier said than done, right? I mean, just the other week, I was invited to go out to dinner with 2 people I love. But I also knew that I had to get ahead on a writing project because the next day was fully booked. I was getting on a plane the following night, and I didn't want to fall behind. And I know it sounds silly, but saying no to that invitation was hard. I didn't want to miss out. I genuinely wanted to catch up with those friends, and I was feeling a lot of resistance to getting my butt in the chair and doing the work I needed to do to stay on track. But because of the exercise I'm about to share with you, I was able to check in with myself and respond to that invitation quickly, even though I was genuinely conflicted at first. And this is a simple example. I'm sure you can think of a couple situations in your life that pose way more complicated obstacles, and hang on to those because we're about to use them in this exercise. In fact, if you haven't already, I want you to pause this video and download the worksheet that goes along with this post. Just click the link above, type in your name and email address, and I'll send it directly to you. Go ahead, I'll wait, it's worth it. Because here's the thing, wanting boundaries in your life is a no-brainer. Actually creating them, remembering them, and sticking to them is really difficult. And the best way I've learned to start creating boundaries that I actually stick to is to get crystal clear about why I'm creating those boundaries in the first place. When you're clear on your intention and why you're saying yes or no to certain things, you tend to feel more aligned and in sync with your own choices. And people see you that way too. They see you as someone who's clear-headed, confident, and dependable. For example, let's say you've told an important client that you're going to get them a draft of something by 5 p.m. on Wednesday. It's 10 a.m. on Tuesday, and you've carved out the next few hours to work on it. But then you notice that you have 9 new urgent emails in your inbox that need responses. Responding to urgent emails and getting this draft done are both technically priorities. So how do you know which one gets your attention first? I'll tell you. You gotta learn Steven Pressfield's principle of priority, which changed my life. The idea is to separate what's urgent from what's important and to do what's important first. Why? Because what feels urgent will always distract you from what's important. And if you're constantly attending to what's urgent before you attend to what's important, you're training yourself to put other people's priorities ahead of your own, especially when it comes to things like your inbox. Brendan Burchard cracked me up when I heard him say this: your inbox is nothing other than a nice organization system for other people's agenda. It's so true. Think about it. And here's where your free worksheet comes in. It's going to help you come up with some ground rules for yourself for daily, weekly, monthly, and even yearly prioritizing. Think of it as a personal roadmap for what you can say yes or no to based on your priorities. It'll also help you figure out in those triage moments, when you're torn between priorities, where to direct your attention first so that you can spend less time stressing about which priority is higher and more time just checking things off your list. So if you're ready to bust through some indecision and be more intentional with your time, go grab that worksheet and get started. And once you complete the worksheet, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let me know what's one insight you're taking away from this exercise, and what's one boundary you're putting in place based on your priorities. And if you could benefit from getting even clearer on your priorities so you can articulate them more clearly and confidently, anytime, anywhere, head on over to selfspoken.com/pup or click the group coaching tab at the top of our website. You'll learn more details about our group coaching program called Presence Under Pressure. We only have a few spots left, and early bird pricing ends in 2 days, so be sure to check it out. In the meantime, keep showing up as that you most want to be. Just one intention, one interaction at a time. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week on the Self-Spoken blog. Bye.